you are the most decorated female student athlete in the history of CSUB athletics to date.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yes, she won 18 titles. Do you know that she's one of only 2 women in the history of all swimming, Division I or 2 or 3, that have won 12? And she did it in 3 years.
I don't remember when I learned to swim. I always knew how. My father was a 3-time gold medalist in swimming, and my mother was a national champion in swimming. I was around a pool deck since the time I was walking. You know, I decided I was done swimming. I didn't want to do it anymore. Then they called me and I said, you know, I haven't swam in 3 years.
She was like, I'm not going back to that pressure and anxiety. I said, okay, well, we don't have to. You know, you just want to show up and play is fine.
And so I joined them on their winter trip down in San Diego. I didn't know anybody on the team. They picked me up at the train station and I started swimming.
She just really found her happy place, found her happy family.
The moment I put my face in the water, it was go time. And it was just in my blood. Like, that's where I was and that's who I am, and the water was my home.
Watching her evolve was an adventure and an exciting adventure for everyone on campus and off. At her first national, she came up to me and said, remember, a happy swimmer is a fast swimmer. And I was like, okay. She never was anxious. I never thought she was focused on the block. She was always like, you know, and singing her song.
And I had a whole routine behind the blocks. It was it was very predictable, to the point where at one nationals, I saw someone across the pool doing it with me from another team. I didn't know what team they were on, and it was a whole routine that I had, and somebody else figured out what it was. So,
her second year at nationals at the University of Buffalo, Loni is not a cold weather person. Nobody has ever won the 2 events she won back-to-back before or since. And she was like, I'm gonna do it back-to-back. And it was like, Loni, it's, you know, there's no time. You can't rest, you can't, no, I can do it.
The 200 free, 100 butterfly combination was one that I always felt very proud of, because it was a race that was back-to-back. There wasn't a lot of time in between. And so I had to swim 8 laps of freestyle, and then I'd have about 10 minutes, and then I have to get back up and swim 4 laps of butterfly.
She won the 100 fly, and Marilee Giguère was second, so they went 1-2, so they were like ecstatic, and then came up to the 200 free and won that event. And then the last event of the night was the 800 free relay, and I had nice person, Loni, and we were, as they say in the business, DFL, dead flipping last, going into the last 200, which was her. And she took off and ripped one. She could have made some of the guys' teams there. I mean, it was just, and we finished 4th, and it was like, okay.
I hope that it's remembered as that I was a hard worker, but I also made sure that I kept myself grounded and that I had fun while I was doing it.
You know, everybody behind the block is like, so focused and so hard, and she's like.
The moments in between the races, the moments where I would be sitting with my teammates and we would laugh until we were crying, or the moments to morning practice where one of us would drive a couple of us and we would sing at the top of our lungs at 5 in the morning in the fog, trying to see the stoplights. Just the in between the races. Those moments stick out to me and still stick out to me to this day.